I love that we're hearing, feel it in my soul. Honestly, like the tears are right there. Before she goes there. So hard. Oh my God. I love that it happened to show you because it's not all about perfection, but like my heart, it goes out to her. Oh my God. Kia ora and welcome. My name's Zoe TV and I'm your vocal coach for today because we have the absolute pleasure at taking a look at EJ, Audrey Nuna and Ray Ami performing Golden live at the BAFTAs. We're going to be taking a look at what are they up to with their vocal technique. How are they creating these absolutely stunning performances with their voices? And most importantly, how can you create these sounds? Oh, I'm already nervous because this is such a difficult song. Let's take a look at what they're up to with their vocal technique.
Please welcome the singing voices of HUNTRIX, EJ, Rhea May, and Audrey Nuna from the worldwide phenomenon that is K-pop demon HUNTRIX!
I was a ghost, I was alone. 두어진 길 속에 given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was a queen that I'm meant to be. Live two lives, try to play both sides, but
I love that they are singing live. Yes! Because they're fantastic singers and they deserve to sing the song live. Let's just watch this again. We're down on the F3, which is the F below middle C. This is low for the female voice.
I was a ghost, I was alone. 두어진 길 속에 given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was a queen that I'm meant to be.
Ah, beautiful. So I was a ghost, I wouldn't know her, but So we've got this lower larynx position there with a little bit of air coming through the sound. Now, when we are that low in the range, it's really important that we're keeping the volume so low so the microphone is quite close to the mouth, because otherwise it's going to end up sounding a little bit hooty. And especially if we're trying to create a full voice sound, I was a ghost, I didn't know, it's going to sound, honestly, all I can think about is a New Zealand farmer when we're trying to sound with such a low larynx and thicker vocal fold quality, or like thicker lower down in the range without air. Let's just watch that again because she sounds beautiful.
I was a ghost, I was alone. 두어진 길 속에 given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was a queen that I'm meant to be. Live two lives, try to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Kind of problem child, 'cause it got too wild.
I love that we're hearing three incredibly different sounds. Three wonderfully, like, not only different sounds, but like really accomplished singers with these completely different voices. And I just want you to know, like, there is no one way to sing. There is no one best way to sing. There is like optimal vocal technique. But in the end, like we've actually just seen in the Winter Olympics, to be honest, like we've just seen at the BAFTAs, all of these beautifully, completely different performances. And they're all amazing. They are all, they're liked by different people. And it's just about like being and finding your authentic version of what you like. Okay. Anyway, get off my soapbox. Let's watch that again.
Given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was a queen that I'm meant to be.
Yeah, I was a queen that I'm meant to be. She's thickening up those vocal folds, allowing a little bit of the tension to come into the throat there in order to beef up that sound.
Two lives, try to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place.
So we've got Okay, I'm so sorry. I can't remember who is who. I just know that EJ is the first singer there. So we've got this slightly higher larynx position and almost like a little bit of tension coming on at the back of the throat to create that sound. And there is an increase trying to play both sides, but we got an increase in the amount of with the opening of the vocal folds at the end of the phrases. Now, please, I'm not trying to make fun of her. I haven't sung this song before. Let's just watch that again. I feel like I'm being a bit rude there, but it's stunning.
The queen that I'm meant to be. Live two lives, try to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place.
There we go. But I couldn't find my own place. So look at that. Ha ha ha, and a little bit of the tension going on there at the back of the throat. We don't know why there's a second vocal going on in the background, but we're not going to judge anybody because that might not have been her decision, but that could have also been her artistic decision as well to sing over top of them. I love that Timothée Chalamet is recording that on his phone. Like absolutely everybody else in this world, we all love to see particular performers and love to see them sing.
Both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Kind of problem child, 'cause it got too wild, but now that's how I'm getting paid. I'm done hiding now.
So we got on a problem child. We've got these slightly wider mouth shapes there. Now what we're seeing here with this singer is that she's definitely got a slightly thicker vocal fold quality there. We've got a little bit more of the twang coming in there as well, which is making the sound naturally louder. Let's just watch that again.
Child, 'cause it got too wild, but now that's how I'm getting paid.
There we go. And now that's how I'm getting paid. And we're hearing that louder sound coming in here. But what's most important is that the volume is not created by shouting in any way, shape, or form. These different vocal qualities are coming from the fact that they're just three completely different singers. Now, if EJ was to sing this entire song by herself, we would hear different qualities to what these three singers are bringing in. So please don't think that you as like the singular singer needs to sing this in these three sorts of different vocal styles. Sing it the way that you want to sing the song. But we're definitely getting these wider vowels going on there and almost more of a open, more of a, it's not an open vowel. An open vowel would be an so we've got this a little bit more twangier vowel is what I was looking for.
Done hiding, now I'm shining like I wanna be.
Because you get now I'm shining. We're in a head voice sound there, and she's allowing it to go up into a breathier head voice as she's going higher up in the range. I want you to watch what she does with her breath now.
I'm getting paid. I'm done hiding, now I'm shining like I wanna be.
Lots and lots and lots of that. Like I'm gonna be. Thin vocal folds, a tiny bit of breath coming in there, but we're seeing these short, sharp, high breaths because these are not really, really long phrases. We don't need shitloads of breath coming through the sound. Like I'm gonna be. And also, if we were to increase, like have so much breath going through the sound, honestly, it would just ruin it.
Now I'm shining like I wanna be. We dreaming, oh, we came so far. Now I believe.
Before she goes there, okay, I believe she's in what we would probably call a bit of mix. Now, I'm saying probably because I think mix honestly gets thrown around the internet a bit willy-nilly. What on earth is mix voice quality? We're going into a louder, so a little bit of a, it's like a thicker, thin vocal fold. So when we're thinking about thick and thin vocal folds, we're wanting to think about it as a sliding scale because we only have one set of vocal folds, okay? They're like this. They sit inside the throat. And we're starting thin. We can thicken them in order to get louder. And so she's sitting probably somewhere around the middle, and that's what we call the mix voice, is when we've got a slightly thicker, thin vocal fold set up, lots of thyroid tilt, but at that point, low breath flow.
We came so far. Now I believe. We're going up, up, up. It's our moment. You together we're glowing. Gonna be golden. Up, 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 and our voices. You're only getting so warming. Gonna be golden. Oh, I'm done hiding.
I love that there. So perfect example of how we're also seeing that now the two singers supporting EJ there. I mean, I know that they're the soloists in the song, but they are now just miming along and the track has taken over in that song. Let's just watch that again. Up, it's our moment. So we've got a thicker vocal fold quality, but she's not gone into the belt. We've got, it's a relatively thin vocal fold quality there. And this is where a lot of people have gone wrong when they're doing covers of the song. They've tried to like belt the shit out of it right from the beginning. And that's not what she's doing.
We're going up, it's our moment. You together we're glowing. Gonna be golden. Up, and our voices. You're only getting so woman. Gonna be golden. I'm done hiding now. I'm shining like I'm born to be.
I just want to like burst into tears for her because I can imagine she's on this huge stage. She's just had like over a year of performing this song. Like, you cannot imagine the pressure that she is under, with all that's happened with not only this show but also the song. And you stand on the stage after winning all of these awards. This is a normal human reaction to that. She is a human. And I love that this is a live recording and no one has stuffed around with it in the background, because I want you to see that this happens to the best of us. This happens to the best singers on the biggest stages. This is a living instrument. It could be anything. I am not poo-pooing what she's just done, but I feel it in my soul. Honestly, like the tears are right there. I so feel for her because the pressure must be insane. Now, her job in this moment and your job as a singer is not to let that then take over the whole performance. It's to allow it to happen and forget about it and continue singing like you've practiced, okay? So hard. Oh my God. I love that it happened to show you, because it's not all about perfection, but like my heart, it goes out to her. Oh my God.
We're glowing. Gonna be golden. And our voices. You're
She's already hit the fucking note. She's already hit it. Up and our voices. She's up on the E, on the F5 there, I think. But we've got a thicker vocal fold further up in the range. Now, this is what comes with practicing both the chest voice going further up in the range and taking out some of the weight of the sound and taking the thinner vocal folds further up. This is where cross training is so important, because that's like a true mix going on right there. Taken out a lot of the volume, but we've still got the vocal fold thickness going on, and that's how we get high. We've got a short, sharp, high breath, as well as a shitloads of thyroid tilt. Now, what happens here where she flubs the note is it's where she's going for a louder voice quality without having set it up properly.
just a woman. Gonna be golden. I'm done hiding now. I'm shining like I'm born to be. I would tell.
Okay, so you get like I'm born to be. So we've got without setting up that note and preparing for the subglottic pressure that just went ever so slightly out of tune there. Now, that can happen due to a number of reasons, but I think it was because she was trying to go for a slightly louder sound when she wasn't ready and set up with that the thickness of the vocal folds there. And that's just probably what pushed the note a little bit out of tune.
Waited so long to break these walls down to.
Okay, so then it happened again, and this is, I need you to know that these singers are operating at like a level that you're not really aware of in terms of what their schedules are like when they're out there performing. And I think you think that you're aware of what's actually going on, but like behind the scenes, they are being asked to like sign things. They're doing interviews. Like every single moment of their days will be like regimented. They'll be like woken up and then they will be like put on planes and like told what to do the entire time. Now, I really hope that I'm wrong, but from the people that I do know within the industry and the people that do work at this level, that is just the reality of what happens. Okay, I've got to change perspectives there because my camera just decided to overheat and I don't know what's going on, and I've got a tight schedule, so we're going to keep on filming. But I just want to make you aware that these sorts of things happen often. Even when a singer is as well trained as EJ, they've set up all the right conditions, but really this is a living instrument and there's nothing we can do about it. It happens. We have to just move on. Maybe train a little bit to go like, why did that happen? But you know, we don't need to dwell on that because I'm so certain that she's very well aware of what's going on within her own voice right now.
Shining like I'm born to be. Oh, our time, no fears, no lies. That's who we're born to be.
And did you hear that? It was on the E vowel there. Like I'm born to be. You could see that she was trying to compensate there for the E. High tongue position. She was trying to get it there. You could see, bay! This could just be a vocal fatigue thing. We don't know why. We're not going to speculate why, but it could be due to so many different reasons. But what we've got there is we had a high tongue position for that higher. I would say now that she's slightly moving into a quieter belt. Now, I know you might not be aware of like what a quieter belt really means, but essentially belt is when we have the cricoid cartilage. I'll just go here. See, the cricoid cartilage is the bit below the larynx. And what happens is it tilts back to allow the vocal folds to become thicker than thick. Now, belt is known, or belt voice quality is known as being a very loud voice quality, but we can tilt the cricoid cartilage in order to make a thicker vocal fold sound higher in the range. And that's why I'm saying quiet belt. So it's like I'm gonna be. We've got thick vocal folds, but we're not pushing for the volume at that point. Now, that needs to have a short, sharp, high breath as we're going up there. But it's also about pulling back all of our natural instincts in that moment, which are often to push a whole bunch of, well, breath and also push more volume, which just won't help us as we're going that high. We're up on the G5 there. We're up on like defying gravity, wicked register. Like this is high belt.
Waited so long to break these walls down, to wake up and feel like me. Put these patterns all in the past now, and finally live like the girl they all see.
We don't always know where a certain thing in a singer's voice is coming from, but that little bit of wobble within the sound there could be coming from EJ's nerves, because the heart is sitting here, and when the heart beats faster, that will then be pulsing the breath pressure, which then pulses the breath pressure against the vocal folds, and that's where a wobble can come within the voice. So this is why when we're singing lower in the range with more breath, we actually have less pressure here at the level of the vocal folds, and that's where those nerves tend to affect the voice a little bit more than we maybe want them to. Now, I don't know if EJ is super nervous in this moment. That could be an emotional or an artistic decision that she's making in that moment. But I just want to make you aware that that can be a reason.
And finally live like the girl they all see. More hiding, I'll be shining like I'm born to be.
Cool. I love it. She's got it again. Now, as we're going into a slightly thicker vocal fold quality, that wobble or that shimmer is gone now because of the increase in the pressure at the level of the vocal folds. Going that low from going so high takes a lot of practice, and we need to make sure that we're taking the larynx lower and, well, back down low as we're singing low.
Patterns all in the past now, and finally live like the girl they all see. More hiding.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're way down there on the D3. No, we're hiding. Low larynx, low breath flow, taking all of the volume out of that sound.
I'll be shining like I'm born to be. 'Cause
And you can see that, like I'm born to be. She looks very cool, calm, and collected, and that's because it's in a relatively easy part of her range. She doesn't necessarily need to use much movement here because I say easy part of her range. I say let's just say comfortable part of her chest voice range.
We are hunters, voices strong, and I know I believe we're going up, it's our moment. You know, together we're glowing.
So it's very easy for us to say like, oh my God, why didn't she just change the song then if she was struggling with that note? She just hit it because she knows that she can hit it. And also a lot of the time when a song is so ingrained in our voices, there is actually no other way that we can sing the song. So this is a really great exercise to basically go from all of the vocal qualities, from going low all the way through to high. Let's just watch that again.
'Cause we are hunters, voices strong, and I know I believe we're going up.
So, and I know I believe we've got a high tongue position. We've got quite a lot of tension in the tongue there in that moment. Now that might be what you're not used to hearing, that we do actually want to have tension within the tongue, because really think about it, the tongue inserts into the top of the larynx. So if we have tension in the tongue and we've got stability in the tongue, we're actually going to be able to stabilize the larynx. And that is why I have a free vocal exercise for you to learn how to strengthen your tongue down in the description below, because it has changed the voices of my singers over the last couple of months since we started working on these exercises. And you can get yours for free down in the description below.
And I know I believe we're going up.
I don't want to dwell on that sound. We're going. She put her arm down there. That can be a sign of using those larger muscles in the upper chest and the back in order to stabilize that sound. And sometimes just doing a bit of movement as well can help kind of take our minds off the fact that we didn't quite hit the note before.
It's our moment. You know, together we're glowing. Gonna be growing. With our voices. You only get just a moment. Gonna be growing. You know we're gonna be golden. We're gonna be. Wanna be glowing. Like every melody. You know that it's our time. No fears, no lies. That's who we're born to be.
There you go. Knew she could hit it. Absolutely. She was there. Fantastic. Look, that's a professional singer for you. Fucking continuing singing, absolutely smashing it and recovering. That's the hardest thing. Not learning how to sing the note. It's recovering from when you've already flubbed the note twice and coming back to smash it out of the park and show everybody. And it's not even about showing anybody. It's about, showing yourself and also just singing it because you know that you can. That's the hardest thing about singing. Let's just watch that again, because we've gone into this higher, more belty sound here. Absolutely. Gonna be golden. Gonna be. I know a lot of people are going to be looking at the song and singing it being like, oh my God, it's so high. Yes, it is very, very high. But with training, a lot of singers are able to hit these notes. And again, not poo-poo. This is very, very high. I just get a lot of singers coming in and like before they're even able to get a C5, well within their voices, they're already trying to get the G5. Now, this is about building it up semitone for semitone through your vocal training, but you've got to know how to set up the first note before you can set up the second note. And if you're already struggling in the midsection of the song, you've got absolutely no hope in hell for these higher belt sounds. This is a very, very challenging song. And that's why if I was going to be working on someone, working on the song with someone, I would be suggesting that we change the melody ever so slightly, or change where this placement is of this chorus, or maybe the vocal quality, because we can change a song to fit our voices. I just want to make you aware that it's a really hard song. Like, don't just think you're just going to like waltz into it. You've really got to, work on your singing. Yes, that's it. That's where I'm gonna be. And you saw that high tongue position. They keep on wanting to look at the other camera, but it's, it's dead for the moment. We get that high tongue position, and that's going to help to create the brightness that we need for those high. Now we're gonna be. Now, for me personally, in my voice, that would be too high of a tongue position, which is why it's really important with a lot of the vocal technique that's out there that it's always taken with a pinch of salt, and it has to be adapted for your own voice. There is no one ring to rule them all. It is really about making sure that it is individualized and fitting for you. So when we're talking about going into a high, quiet belt, hey, sorry to burst your bubble, but that is actually a very advanced vocal technique. If you cannot hit belt at the appropriate, I don't want to say appropriate volume for belt, but if you cannot hit belt in its purest sense, then you are going to find reducing the volume incredibly difficult, because you're going to want to flip into falsetto the whole time. It's about learning, how do I manage this breath pressure against the tongue position and the breath. Singing is hard, people. Like, singing is really, really hard. And a singer, just recently, I'm sorry, I had to chuckle, because she said to me, "Oh my God, Zoe, I didn't realize singing was this hard." Anyone can learn to sing. It is a coordination of the muscles, like I say in every single video that I put out there. But it is a very complex coordination. And I just hope that we can learn to, I love that we can learn to love the struggle. And that's what I'm really getting at. We're learning to love the struggle of learning to love how to do really, really difficult things with our voices. And I'm here to do that exact thing with you. So if any of this has resonated with you and you're just like, "Oh my God, Zoe, speak to me. I want to learn how to sing better, and I feel like I'm going to benefit from really pointed singing lessons, know exactly what to practice. I'm going to show you how to practice it, and I'm literally I put out step by step, what you are going to do for your practice. I will show you the way. Then you can apply for singing lessons in the description below. These ladies are incredible. That is a whole psychology lesson in itself about how to struggle, fail, come back from it. Absolutely love it. I'm running out of battery on my sound thing. Everything's dying today, but we persevered. I'm going to keep on putting stuff out there. So have an awesome rest today. Check out some golden up here, and I'll see you around next time. Have an awesome rest today. Mwah! Happy singing. You're amazing. Bye.